How's it going, everyone? Got quite a bit of game updates and news to talk about in this video. A big update on Final Fantasy XVI, and also want to go over a couple of other titles that I think you guys should be aware of. We'll talk that at the end of this video. But first of all, Final Fantasy XVI exclusive to PlayStation 5 for at least 6 months now in a new PlayStation 5 sizzle trailer. It does note Final Fantasy XVI anticipated summer 2023, PS5 exclusive for 6 months. So obviously, initially when FF16 was revealed, if you guys remember, there was something that mentioned, there was a bit of confusion that the game would ultimately be coming to PC, and then Square Enix went back on it. They're like, hey, that was a mistake. It was, I believe, copied over from the previous trailer that they saw. Whatever. Much ado about nothing. But if you see what they did with the Final Fantasy VII Remake, either Sony would have to pay a ridiculous amount of money to get that game as a full-on exclusive, or the best you can do is a timed exclusivity agreement, and it says at least 6 months. Remember, I believe FF7 Remake initially had a 1-year timed exclusivity period, but it ended up being much longer than a year. FF7 did not come out on PC until December of 2021, if my timeline is clicking. And even then, that was a Epic Games Store exclusive for 6 months, and then they finally released the game on Steam, and I think that's when the game started gaining a lot of traction on PC as well. Look, I think timed exclusivity is so lame. Like, it's literally just you paying money to lock out a game from a different platform. Like, if you want to get an exclusive, just go all in, acquire the studio, or like get it as a full-on exclusive. Timed exclusivity just seems like you're not willing to go all the way and get a game exclusive. Nonetheless, I am never going to, Square Enix, I have a lot of opinions about them, especially with a lot of their IPs and what they do with it. With Final Fantasy, man, Square Enix be hustling with these games. Like, they know what a commodity they have in their hands with Final Fantasy, and what they did with the FF7 Remake, alright, first of all, the game's gonna be 3 parts, it's a trilogy, take that for what you will, but I thought it was absolutely hilarious that not only did they get money from Sony to make that game a timed PlayStation 4 exclusive, I believe they got another check from Sony to make the Intermission, the Intergrade expansion, a timed exclusive as well, but then they turned around and got money from the Epic Games Store to make it a timed exclusive on that platform, and then ultimately they released the game on Steam. Like, bruh, Square be hustling to get the most amount of money they can with these Final Fantasy games. Like, it's kind of whack to the consumer, but like, yeah, bruh, if they're gonna pay obscene amounts of money, I would do that too, but I'm a scumbag, so like, obviously I'd do that. But we'll see what happens with Final Fantasy XVI. Look, we already know that Sony and Square Enix, it was probably a pretty big deal to get this game as an exclusive in any form. I am very curious to see if Square Enix's relationship with Epic Games Store is still going to remain, and they can get another check from Epic Games Store to make it a 6-month exclusive like they did with the FF7 Remake. That would just be remarkable, but honestly, like, yo, Square be Square, and FF16 is a big enough game where I would see that Epic Games Store would be in the market to acquire a game like that, but that's really me pushing the cart before the horse. We'll see how it ultimately turns out, and still curious to see if Xbox is ever going to get these newer Final Fantasy games. Well, they're getting Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII, but they don't have the Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I just find to be really strange. Like, just put the 7 Remake on there. I don't know if there's, Sony probably has, like, specific verbiage that they do with these deals. Maybe they said, hey, you can put the game on PC, no Xbox release until X amount of time elapses, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, you would think by now FF7 Remake would drop on Xbox as well. Currently, it's available on PC and PlayStation 4 and 5, so yeah, we'll see how that turns out. Alright, moving on from that, BLACKTAIL is launching December the 15th. Now, this is a lower key title coming from Parasite and Focus Entertainment. It's coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC, so this is a full-on next-generation title. It's got this archery-based gameplay. It looks pretty cool from a thematic standpoint. The game notes, forward to the legend of Baba Yaga, a girl accused of witchcraft and expelled from her home, live out the origins of the Slavic myth in this one-of-a-kind blend of intense archery combat and dark storytelling set in a vibrant fairy tale world. The game is priced pretty accordingly. It's only $24. There is a 20% off launch discount, so take that for what you will. Decide the fate of the land and its inhabitants. Witness the impact of your decisions on your skills through BLACKTAIL's morality system. Track down elusive spirits with your trusty bow and gauntlet. Engage in thrilling boss fights, craft arrows and potions, hunt wild game, and gather resources to survive in the ominous woods. And find hidden treasures to learn more about your surroundings and history, and collect lost recipes and brew elixirs to improve your abilities and shape your playstyle. So again, BLACKTAIL will be coming December 15th. 20% off. I know this latter portion of the year, generally speaking, it doesn't get a lot of buzz, you know, like end of November, December, you're kind of just picking up the games you might have missed out on, you know, in the midst of the fall season. Like, God of War is kind of like that finality to me of the last major release coming this year. Although there is stuff like Callisto Protocol next month, and then again, Crisis Core, that's a remaster, remake, whatever you want to call it, and then you have lower key releases like BLACKTAIL, but there's still definitely stuff to be on the lookout for even after the release of God of War. Like, we got Sonic Frontiers and God of War back-to-back this week, just insanity. I don't think we're gonna have a week like that again, in this calendar year, but next year for sure. But yeah, BLACKTAIL coming December 15th. Lastly, I do want to note One Piece Odyssey Water 7 trailer has dropped. Save your friends and escape the clutches of CP9. One Piece Odyssey players will embark on an adventure with Luffy and the Straw Hat crew as they are trying to regain their lost powers. To do so, they'll visit Memoria, a world built from the memories of their previous encounters, leading them to go back to important locations in their history such as Alabasta and Water 7. This adventure is a brand new story of the Straw Hats with a focus on Usopp and Robin. But while places and situations can look and feel familiar, nothing is as it exactly was in these memories. Players will see some differences with the story they know and love. I've been open about it before. One Piece is just something, like, bro, it's 900 episodes. Like, I can never get into something like that. At this stage of the game, I just feel like I'm so behind the 8 ball. But, like, everybody tells me, like, whenever I mention that I don't watch One Piece, they're like, bro, you just gotta give it a chance. Like, get through the initial portion, and, like, it's a banger for what I hear. And I have friends that are super into it, and they, like, read the manga chapters every week. You know, the undertaking is just a little bit too massive to me. And right now, that new Bleach season is my jam, so, like, that's kind of like my shonen anime that I watch. That Bleach season, this new Bleach season is absolutely insane. Like, I feel the animation is some of the best I've ever seen out of an anime. But nonetheless, about One Piece Odyssey, I am gonna check out the game, and I want to see if a game like this can get me more so into One Piece, because sometimes it is, like, just a video game that ends up piquing my interest for something. Like, for example, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Like, I literally played that game, and now, like, I'm trying to get into Star Wars as a whole just because I like Jedi Fallen Order so much. This looks like it can also be seen as a standalone story. Obviously, being a One Piece fan is probably going to greatly, you know, extend your enjoyment of the game, but nonetheless, a big budget One Piece RPG sounds cool to me, and we'll see how it turns out. It's out January 13th of next year, so another game for that early 2023 period. But that is gonna do it for me. Again, I've got big update on Final Fantasy XVI. Notes on the exclusivity period. It's gonna be exclusive for at least 6 months. BLACKTAIL dropping on December the 15th, and One Piece Odyssey gets a brand new trailer. Let me know your guys' excitement level for the game, and especially if you're a fan of One Piece, you know, how much more excited are you for that than, let's say, I would be as somebody that just looks at this as a JRPG with an anime that is definitely very recognizable. But that's gonna do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.